Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rest Up Podcast, episode 12. Wow. So today's gonna be a little different. We're gonna keep it as unedited as possible. If there's like long parts that we're not talking or anything like that, obviously I'm gonna cut that out. But this is just gonna be open, unfiltered. We're just gonna be talking a little internal. So this is episode 12 of the rest of the podcast, and we are gonna do an internal episode. So, editor, roll that intro. Well, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for watching week after week here for the rest of the podcast. I'm your host, one of them, John,
Tim, Hunter.
and today we're just gonna be talking about everyday life. We'll start with Hunt. How's your week been? What have you been up to?
Um, my week has been pretty good. I had Monday off for Veterans Day, so I went to Disney. That was fun.
Invite. That's crazy.
No, but it works. I know you works. I know your schedule like that. No, it was a good week. So I've been busy at work. I had one day where I was just checking all the air handlers at the school, and then
What are
second day, air handler units is what gives AC to the buildings. So I was checking out all those for the school, and then
Oh wait, the box next to the house that has the fan on top of it. That's
sort of, but like really big ones for the schools.
so like a commercial size one.
Yeah, and there was like probably close to like 15 of them. So check those out, and then day two, I hung out near the office, and then today I was a little bit busy, but yeah, it's almost Friday. So
Yeah. Today is my Saturday, y'all. I'm off on Thursdays and Fridays, so today is my Saturday. Tim, what about you? How was your week? How's everything been? Because you missed the last two episodes because of soccer and other extracurriculars. So how are all those going?
soccer's doing great. It's a lot of soccer though. Basically every day. It's definitely a commitment. But yeah, we had our first loss actually. Like
Oh
that
no!
counted.
Oh no!
Yeah, I mean they were a great team, good for them, but we lost 2-1. But whatever. We got a really important game tomorrow, so it's gonna be cool. And
You got a game on a Friday.
yeah,
What about football? Like football over or?
no, it's away.
Oh God, yeah, gotcha.
And I register for Costa Rica. It's official. I'm going back.
You're going back. Okay.
That's lit. That's nice.
What?
Yeah.
How is your mission trip things going on?
So I got the info for the passport because I don't have a passport. Um, got the check. I got what else did I do?
Oh, the cashier's check.
Yeah, I had to get that, and then I had to fill out paperwork with my social security and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
the application.
yeah, so now I just gotta go to the courthouse and finalize it and take a photo.
Real
So
clerk or courts.
yes, I need to do that this week probably. I need to do that
Wow.
tomorrow. Yeah,
Yeah, honestly, tomorrow I would probably.
I don't have nothing else going on, yo.
Oh, I got a great story about that. This is why you don't wait on your passport. If you know it's expired or close to being expired, people, just go ahead and do it. Just get it out of the way. So, when my girlfriend and I first started dating, I had a passport. It was good. It was good at the time while we were dating when I booked the flights, okay? Everything was fine. It's going to be a family trip down to Costa Rica, so my parents, the whole family, everybody's going. So my parents are going a couple days early to get the place, get everything set up. So all we have to do is fly in and just go straight there. They have everything else taken care of. So they go, um, they go, and then my sister is at the airport, and they go, "Hey, your passport's expired. You can't go." So I'm like, "Oh, all right." So Hunter, my sister, text the group chat. So we're like, the only thing we can do is go down to Miami to the immigration place and get an emergency passport because she had surgery that week. We go down. I leave from the Orlando airport at like 8 in the morning. Okay. Nonstop. I'm not going the speed limit on 75 all the way down to Miami for this. Get to Miami. find out. I need an appointment. And you know how you get an appointment? You go on the website, put your specifications in on the government website, and it will tell you all the ones available for the day. Okay? Nationwide. So there's only so many slots that you can make for an appointment for a specific one. Long story short, because of me not taking it serious like my parents asked me to, I ended up missing out on Costa Rica, and the first trip with my girlfriend got canceled. I felt so bad. I felt terrible, absolute terrible. But it's all good. Once we got our passport, I took her to Colombia. We went to Cartagena. We went on a trip. It all worked out in the end. So, my advice to you: get that jump done ASAP. Get it done tomorrow, please.
So hopefully, next time we're recording, I'll have my passport.
You, you're gonna get it in a week?
2 weeks. They said no. They said 3 to 5 weeks. What was your week like?
This week, it's been good. I've been getting over being sick the last couple weeks. So, getting back into the gym has probably been the biggest struggle. Actually, to be honest with you, because you guys know I used to go like every morning or every day, and now it's like been kind of difficult to get in the mindset to go to the gym. So I've been working on it. Hopefully, by the end of next week, the week after next, the podcast, I'll be able to tell y'all. I'll say something about it because I really want to get back into the gym. I miss it. I don't miss the gym. I miss like consistently going and just being involved and because I'm eating right now. I'm on meal prep. Like I'm on a calorie deficit. But yeah, that's the biggest thing I miss is the gym and staying consistent in it because I know it's good for me. But other than that, my week's been good. I finally don't feel sick anymore. Been coming up with creative ways to be more motivated on the podcast and just trying to work hard on creating something that's worthy to be shown out on the internet.
What some things do you guys feel like God's been teaching you this past week or so?
Last week, probably the biggest thing, as always, is freaking patience, man. I feel like God's always teaching me patience and like not diving straight into something and going like running straight towards it, because I'm a very much run into it, and then once we have a problem, we'll assess the problem. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that I don't prepare, it's just like I'm not afraid to do anything. Like we're at that age. Even Tim, I mean, you're even younger than us, so there's more opportunities for you to go out and try things, that are good. Like, just if you wanted to start a t-shirt company, you go out and do it. We're at that age that whatever we want to try, we can go do, and the Lord will bounce us back if it's something that's not intended for us, or it could be a way of Him showing, something for us that we're supposed to do to glorify Him.
What's like some of the things He's been showing you through patience?
Wait for the right moments to plant the seed in people. I feel like that's one thing He's been doing a lot, especially because we have a guy at the club, super super nice guy. He's older, and at the boat club, and he's a little odd. Is definitely odd, but he's super nice to the people around him, but he has a lot of hurt in his heart, and I can see the hurt. And it's kind of funny because every time I see this guy, if it's something that's not boat related, he's like very angry, like very, very like angry and violent. Like it's crazy, like the stuff he says. Like this guy says some crazy stuff. And, you know, I felt like no one ever asked him this question. So I asked him this question. I was like, hey, why are you always so angry? Because he claims he knows the Bible very well, and he does. Like, I believe him. I believe him 100%. And um, he knows the word very well. He believes the word, but I feel like his heart is hardened from the wrongdoing that's been put onto his life. even though he knows, he doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like he really does know the word. Just the way that he doesn't give grace or compassion, to the people that hurt him. Like he still has that anger and and honestly vengeance. Like it's a very like demonic spirit like attached to him. So it's honestly crazy. It is because he's so angry. Like he's talked about that he had dreams of killing these people, like strangling them and making them like die. And I'm listening to it. I'm sitting in the office listening to all of this, and I'm like, wow, wow. And that's when I asked him. I was like, "Who hurt you?" And he looked at me and kind of shocked because it was almost like. And I asked a couple other people that know him, and they were like, honestly, I just tuned him out. I've never asked him. And uh, so I asked him. So I just started dumping it all out,
Really?
dumping it all out, and it's pretty. I'll put it this way: he's very book smart, but he's not. He's got no street smart. Like he has no. He's very logical, but he has no logic. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying, Tim? Like he's very logical and very rational, but he has no baseline of what logic is. And like because like when we look at a light, we're like, oh, it's a light. But if you looked at a light, he would say that's a fluorescent bulb that looks like appears to be, 25 volts or something. Like he would go down the line, but he wouldn't like we would probably be like, oh, it's just a light. It lights stuff. For him, he would be like, well, the electrical current, all this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how he thinks about stuff.
Very specific guy.
Yeah, very specific, especially when it comes to boats and a captain's license and that kind of stuff. So you know what I'm talking about now. Yeah, captain's license. Yeah. So he just started releasing all the junk, and I told him if you can't forgive then, how can you expect God to?
Yeah.
And that's when he got mad. Like Buddy was pissed at me, and I've never seen him so mad. And I was like talking about it with Steve, and I was like, we were debating it and the situation with the person, and he was telling me all these things, and I was just remembering it from the stories that Steve, Tim's dad, was telling me about this person, and so, I kind of expected the fury. Like, I kind of knew what I was getting into, but it was weird because that day there was no one else around, no one was there, and I was able to really, like, try to understand it because, my first impression of this person is like, oh, all these people terrible, terrible, like all these people terrible, demonic, meh, meh, meh. And I'm just like, all right, this guy's seen a lot, done a lot, probably, but he's crazy. Put him over there. But I don't know. It was just one of those things that I felt really called to just look him at the eyes and ask him some hard questions. And I felt like the Holy Spirit really took it over because at the end of it, I was like, you know what? I want you to know two things. You are loved by the people around you. We love you. And he never, because the way he talks, it's like he's always proving that he's able to have a conversation with anyone or like always like not one upping, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's everything that person talks about it as in a way that he's very knowledgeable, very advanced, and in a way that he kind of puts himself on a high course because he thinks he's better than everyone.
Mhm.
But long story short, sorry, I'll bring it back. I ended up praying over him, and I'd never seen him cry. Like he barely could say anything. Like he was just like he didn't know what to think. And then he was like, you know what? I want to pray over you too. And couldn't get a word out. He was just like, Lord, he did the daily prayer, the Our Father in heaven, and he couldn't say it like at all, like stuttering, just tears falling down. And then um I never saw that. I never saw him in a way that was soft. You know what I'm saying? Not like a hard boiled egg. And it was crazy because at the end, he's walking out the door. You know, it was honestly, it's kind of dramatic, but it's how it happened. When he walked out the door, he looked back and he says, thank you to me. And I go, don't ever think you're not a part of our family and just your love. And he ran, like walked out the door, and I went back to my desk and I looked, and he's already down at the end of the dock. I'm like, was he running? And I'm like, this dude's almost 70. Like, how did he get down there so fast? But it was crazy. And, that was one thing that I felt like if I didn't have patience all the other times and I did what I wanted to do that time. If I did it any other time, it would have been, embarrassing or something to like alleviate from it. But it was great. It was great. A great experience. Sorry, Tim. I didn't mean to bore you.
You didn't bore me. That was a great story.
There's always a story that I'm praying for someone and they get emotional. I don't know what it is. Like, there's plenty of times that I pray over people and nothing happens, but the times that something does, I really feel like it's the times that the Lord, instead of doing the right thing, it's God telling me to do it.
Hmm.
And that's why I feel like there's power in it. Because I'm not doing it because of something I learned or what book I read or anything of the sort. I really feel like it's the Holy Spirit taking over, and I feel like changes will happen to people and in your life when you just let the Holy Spirit take over, and it's more prosperous. It's something unimaginable. Like you couldn't imagine it happening until it does. And it's just I don't know. It makes me so happy. Just makes me a very happy person knowing, hopefully the Holy Spirit was really revealed to him in a way that he will grow his heart towards God. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good story. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Tim, you got anything?
What has God been teaching you throughout this week?
Oh, just just to take it back, that happened last week. I'm sorry.
What's God teaching you? Nah.
Here, I just want to let you know. I just want to let you know it didn't happen this week. It happened last week.
Um, a lot. I've had this prayer, like, or it's not even a prayer, but have you guys ever just like had this moment where it's like you're in your room or like you're wherever and you just like speak, but it's not you, and it's God, but He's speaking to you through you. So that's kind of
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying.
yeah, like almost a spirit speaking to you. Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
and I like wrote it down because I was like, okay, I have no clue what this means, but I know that I'm not the one who said that, so I'm gonna like write it down and like try to understand it.
Yeah.
And I'm in my home screen. It says, "Be ready, for the enemy is trying to destroy you. You're doing great. Your desire is granted. I will test you. I will push you. You will be disciplined, but you must be ready." And so I was like, okay,
You got all of that?
yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah. It's kind of crazy. I had no clue what it meant though.
Is that your lock screen now?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, I thought.
yeah. That's a good idea right there. But every day I was just asking God like, I have no clue what you're trying to tell me, but like, open my eyes so you can like tell me what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah.
And throughout the past couple weeks and this week, I see that God is like working in my life. Like I've asked God for something and He's given it right in front of me. And I just feel the conviction is like, am I ready? Like, am I really wanting what I asked for? Like God keeps like,
Oh, that's good.
yeah.
I like that.
And like I kept asking God, like, this is what I want. Like, and I know that this is what you want for me because every single thing that's been happening the past couple weeks is going according to God's plan. Like the plan that I had in mind was God's plan, and I can see it like happening in my life. And through the hardships, I look back at this and I'm like, I will test you. And I'm like, dang, yeah, you really tested me today, God. I will push you. And then one day I'm like, dang, God, like you really did push me today. You will be disciplined. And I was like, dang, like I really was disciplined today. And then like some days I'm just like,
reading the first two words, "Be ready." I was like, "Am I really ready for this? Like, am I really like wanting this? And if I want this, am I gonna give my 100% for God?" And throughout this week, I've been like feeling heavy, like it's a lot of work, and it's taking up a lot of my time, and but I'm not second guessing it because I know that this is God like putting this in my life, but I can truly like feel the "Are you ready?" like tugging in my heart. Like, are you really ready? Are you ready, kids? Oh, sorry. Oh no, you're good. But yeah, that's been something that's been on my mind. Now, has it been day by day that you've been like told something, or was it like that whole thing was told like prior to? Like, how did it come to you? One night I was just like questioning like a bunch of things, and I was like, God, just talk to me, whatever it is. And I kind of just like closed my eyes and I just started speaking. That's really how it went. And like it's crazy. It's crazy because like I wrote it down in my notes and I remember each and every word of it. Like I didn't change any of it up. It was perfect. Like that's how I wrote it and that's how it went in my notes. Crazy. Yeah. It was really cool. Oh, that's really cool. That's awesome. That is really cool. Oh, you got anything like that?
Well, I mean, not nothing like that, but there's things that I feel like God's been teaching me this past week.
Okay.
Been studying a lot of apologetics, so like defending your faith. Been learning a lot about like the validity of like the Bible.
Yeah.
Um, like kind of like the historical evidence for the Bible for Jesus. I've been studying even a little bit about like karma and reincarnation, um, about different gods, just all sorts of different stuff. The viewpoints on creation, like
Yeah.
a lot of different things I've been studying about this past week.
What do you feel like has been the biggest revelation you've had so far?
So you know how like in school, maybe I don't know. I mean, maybe you've learned about this stuff, but
School? I was homeschooled.
I mean, for like in school, we have textbooks about Plato. Like, you know who Plato is, the philosopher,
Yeah.
Homer. So
Please ask, dude.
it's crazy because some of these people, like Aristotle, we only have like a few dozen or a few hundred of their writings. But like for the New Testament, we have 5,800 manuscripts of the New Testament and a couple other thousand in different languages. So it's like we're in the thousands and they're in the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? And
They think that's true.
and we have that in the schools. Like we're like that's in our textbooks. We're reading about Aristotle and Plato and all, and it's like then I started to dive a little bit deeper, and it's like for some of their writings from the time they wrote their, you know, poems or whatever their ideas or their ideology, it would be hundreds and hundreds of years. Like I think the closest one was 400. But the New Testament, after Jesus, ascended into heaven, after like the proof, 150 years is when we started seeing the transcripts. Like that's about roughly what it is, 100 to 150 years. And it's like, you know why that's important? Instead of 400, it's 100 and 150. Is because like the credibility is a lot more. Imagine if you're talking to, someone that knew Jesus, and then you write their story down and then, you pass the manuscript over to your kid or whatever. And it's like that's like a really reliable transcript,
Yeah.
but for 400 years, I mean, that's like a game of telephone. You're passing it down, you know, generation to generation to generation, which it can be reliable,
So
but
you're saying we found them 400 years later.
and we claim it like that's Homer's Iliad, if I think I'm pronouncing that right. Um, roughly 400 years from when he wrote it to the earliest manuscript that we have, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
But for the Bible, it's 100 to 150 for the New Testament.
Yeah, it's a lot more fresh.
It's a lot more fresh, it's a lot more reliable. For Plato, the earliest is 500. So that's
And
getting
they
thought.
found it.
How do we
It
find
took
for
500 years to find it. Like,
No, no, no.
How do they find?
So I don't know. That's just the time gap from when the writing happened to when they found. I don't know how they found it. I just was looking up like, hey, how many manuscripts? Because that's what I care about is how many manuscripts, and then what is the reliability of the manuscripts. And if we're teaching kids, is really what we're teaching. We're elementary school, middle school, high school. If we're teaching them Plato, you know what I said? I said, why don't we have like an elective of a New Testament? Like if you guys are interested, you could elect into the class or world religion or whatever, because you could take world religion at colleges. You know what I'm saying? So why can't we make that an elective in the high schools?
Well, the thing is, if you made that an elective in high school, you would have to make the other religions
Yeah,
an elective.
world religion.
Oh, just world religion in high school
Yeah, and I mean we could
instead
talk
of
about.
college?
Well, I mean, we could. Why not both? Why not both? Because I know this, like, there's kids that probably don't wanna go to gym, you know what I'm saying? But if they wanted to opt into world religion, why can't we say, "Yeah, why not?" You know what I'm saying?
So
Okay.
so as a Christian, I would agree. But if I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, this is probably this is probably some sort of the reasoning probably behind it. Because if they have world religion at that age, they probably don't think, um, if they had that as a thing, I don't know. I don't feel like it would be at 18 and under. I feel like that it's something that, like, parents have to be involved in. Like, I feel like that is something that, you as a unit, like a family unit, need to go about instead of, having it like that, because if you're at a certain age talking about stuff like that, A, it's the nowadays, like, just think about it, huh, they're not gonna be very mature, they're not gonna be very understanding. They're gonna read certain things and act a different way, and that's probably why it's more or less in college more than, like, high school and stuff like that. It's because they're probably the type of people.
I think that, once you make a
Not every
conscious decision.
10.
But I'm just saying though, like, even if you are able to make a conscious decision, I mean, I'm not saying there wouldn't be flaws, you know what I'm saying? But I think, like, if you really think about it, what is the greatest question that man could come upon? Is there a God?
Yeah,
Is there a God?
yeah.
And I think the moment that you could start to really think about that, that's the thing you gotta gravitate to is, okay, well, they got, Muhammad, they got Buddha, you got all these other religions. There's also Christianity. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why can't we teach and learn about all those things? And why can't we point out, hey, this is where, this says this and this says that. And I don't know. I think it would be
Are
good
you talking about
for.
all religions in general
Yeah,
are in
like,
this class?
yeah, they are religions, and just be able to discuss it. It'd be like a.
I thought you were saying at first like a New Testament segment.
Well, that would be really cool. I mean, as a Christian, I would advocate that, dude. If that were to happen, I'd be perfectly fine working the public school system, and dude, I would teach, bro. Dude, I would love to do that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Is there is there a big goal besides the mission trip that you want to accomplish next year that you feel like, you know, it's been revealed to you recently? Like, is there like a goal or something you want to accomplish in the new year? I mean, like, I'm bringing it up again, but like, I feel like there's more for us, but it's kind of the same thing as last year. I don't know where to start. And it's been like on my heart. Like my dad's been telling me about it every day. He's like, "What have you done today to work on rest?" And I'm like, well, you know what you need is up and did all this. You know what you need, right?
What do I need?
You need a plan.
Yeah, I know.
And you know why when you have a plan usually goes good? Because you execute. And if you have the plan, you have everything. I mean, that's something we just Tim, like honestly, the next day you're available, like me and my and your dad, like we just need to sit down and really write down what you want to accomplish with it. I mean, it's once you put it in systems and you do the little parts of the system, it just gets easier.
I could see Tim sitting here thinking like, "Oh, when's my next day? I'm off." But like, oh man, you gotta book me now. Two weeks out, you gotta book me, bro.
Kind of like going back to rest, sorry, but I did have this thing actually where I was like thinking about it because I was thinking like about like my life and like how like I like we built rest, and I was thinking like how it'd be cool how I could like go like I guess like not visit but like find areas where I could like preach the gospel, and like it'd be like up open to the public, and like at the end I would like sell my shirts. Like I could like see that in the future. Kind of like
Oh, like the freaking what is that movie we just saw? Mystery. What movie was that? Oh, we saw Twister.
oh
And
yeah,
you know what?
Glenn Powell.
yeah,
Yeah, the new one, and that's funny you say that because they were, they went out and they did the storm chasing, blah 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 blah, and then once they went into the town, they were selling shirts. I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah, and then you find out because she's the other main character is like, "Why are you selling shirts? This is ridiculous,
Oh yeah.
people." And then what happened?
Oh, they started giving food out, providing clothes and stuff for the towns that tornadoes did damage to. So in the end, it proved that they were doing good with it. But at first, it's like they're trying to make that guy look
Oh yeah,
that group look like the bad because they're not professional. They're like kind of like
taking advantage of the weak is what it looked like. But in reality, all that money he was making from the t-shirts, he was basically buying food and making it to give out to people that
like Honda
need it.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
So um, I understand what you're saying. Like I get what you're saying.
that's a concern.
No, I know, but it was just when he said that, I was just like, "Oh my gosh," because we just saw that movie,
It's a good movie.
and I was like, "Oh yeah, like what they do?" Because if so, like kind of like Cliff, like what Cliff does.
Yeah, exactly.
Cliff and Stewart, right? That's his son
Yeah.
and Stewart.
Yeah, and what's that other young kid? Oh, Bryson.
Oh, Bryson
Yeah,
Crawford.
yeah, something. Yeah,
Crawford?
Bryson.
I don't know, Tim, if you ever saw him. Did you ever see the Westboro Baptist people?
No, I never.
You never saw them online either. You've never heard of them?
Are those people? Is that the person that like they pray and then like slay you in the spirit?
No. So this church is like called Westboro Baptist. I think it's out west or something. I don't actually know exactly where the church is, but what they do is they're like the African Israelites. Have you ever heard of them?
No,
You never heard of African Israelites?
no.
Oh, you gotta look them up. So basically, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. You gotta look them up because that's gonna be something that you're gonna come across with your apologetics. Like I'm serious. Okay. So it's a group of people that think that they are the only ones that are chosen by God to spread the word of God, and they're saved because get this. So they believe um that it's a choice to walk away from sin. Like you can just tomorrow be done with sin. Like not how that works. And they believe action. They're the group that believes actions will get you to heaven instead of having a relationship with God. To sum it up, and what they'll do, they'll go to like if there's like a memorial weekend, something for like veterans, they'll hold signs and say, you're not saved because you're a killer. They'll go. They're super super aggressive people. Like when they do that, and they come out with a lot of hate. Like they'll say some like really vulgar stuff on signs at like Pride Festival, like the whole nines. Like when people think when like these people have some serious hurt, like they'll go and literally point at them and say God hates you. Like those are the kind of people they are. Like they'll look at anyone that's not a part of their club and say God hates you. Never from like a loving, compassionate, kind way. And it's really refreshing because I used to see so much of that junk. And it was just like, people aren't going to believe God's real when they see that. Not at all. They're going to see anger. They're going to see vengeance. They're going to see, pride. They're going to see all these things. And it's very nice to see people taking it more, a more
Gentle.
Yeah, gentle approach, and they're not using like fear tactics or anything like of the sort. They're literally just how Jesus had a relationship with us. They're replicating that relationship with the world, and it's just very nice. It's very refreshing.
Yeah. I heard I mean when you asked Tim like, what is God calling him to? Like I like to say like sometimes you won't know what God's calling you to, like career wise, or like, like, oh well, this person feels called to go to college. This person, they feel called into ministry. This, you know, um sometimes it's not exactly where God calls you, but it's always this. It's always who God calls you to be. Who he calls you. He calls you to be a child of God, and he calls you to, you know, follow after Jesus. He calls you to resemble Jesus. So it's like it starts with the small things. And I mean, you do that, but I'm saying for anyone that is listening that is like, yeah, like I know people feel called. I never felt called from God. And if I don't feel called from God, then how can I know God's real? Well, it starts to just being obedient to who he called you to be.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree.
I actually have like this crazy story about my friend.
Oh, let's go.
It's like I won't make
Go right
I won't
up
make
it.
it long. I won't make it long. Um, he's been wanting to go to the military since he was like 10 years old. It was his dream. He's now 18, 19, and he's really passionate about it. That was his thing.
ROTC, like
ROTC from freshman year to senior year.
say 4 tours in algebra.
That was like his thing. He didn't really care about school. He was like, I'm going to the military. That's what I want to do. And I think that's what God's calling me to do. So hopefully everything can work out. And he left about like 2 months ago. Everything was going great. Before that, he woke up at 4 in the morning every single day to get ready for. Okay, I already know you do that, but
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Every day.
yeah,
What was he getting ready for?
the Air Force.
So he would just wake up and then what? Just start working out, studying, and then
Oh yeah,
okay, so it would just start his routine.
yeah. So basically, he had to get used to his routine because in the Air Force they told him you have to be up at 4 in the morning every single day. So he started doing that every single day, getting ready, hitting a workout, reading his Bible, doing as much as he can. Great for him. He left 2 months ago, and he said everything was great. He went through the boot camp. The boot camp was great. Um, and then he was about to join the military, but before he had to get his physical done, he got his physical done. He said that his everything physically was perfect, like everything was great, and then he was like, "Oh wait, I think you have some mental issues that we have to like look more into." And it turns out that he had like some sort of what's it called? Um, syndrome, and
Fast syndrome.
yeah,
Do you know the name?
I don't know, but he had some sort, and I don't think he knew. Like I feel like I knew a little bit, but like I wasn't sure, but I don't even think he knew.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm sure the parents just like didn't want that to affect him, so never told him. But the doctor said, "Hey, sorry, you can't go to the military," just like that. And his life.
And his parents never told him.
I mean, that's what we're all guessing because like he was surprised that he couldn't join the military. I feel like if you want to join the military, then you should already know that if you have that, you can go. But he was surprised, like, I didn't even know, like, this is crazy to me, blah, blah, blah. He was like, yeah, I'm going to come back home in 2 weeks in Florida, and my dad's just tells me I'm going to become a plumber.
Plumbers make good money,
Yeah, but
dude.
But that was his whole mission, though. You go into the military.
We know you got to think. All right.
do we know that was something? Obviously not. Obviously, there were reasons that those, what do we call it?
Circumstances.
All of the exercises that he did to be prepared for that was preparing him for something else. Hopefully. But I mean, hey, no, I mean,
That sounded so doubtful. Like, oh, yeah, hopefully, man.
Tim's friend that's going through that, just know there's sun on the other side. The sun always comes up every morning.
I got the knife from the Air Force.
Do you really?
Mhm.
I never applied.
Well, I was curious, so I took the test, to find out if I
that-
could. Yeah, yeah, and they were like, so I think one of the questions was like, "What's your name? Do you have food allergies?" And I said, "Yeah, I got food allergies." And they're like, "All right, you're disqualified." But I'm like, "Bro, like, that took like a 2-hour test. Like y'all could have told. That was like the third question. I'm like, man, like y'all could have told me this before I wasted my time.
Yeah, that's
You know." I'm like, man, I was expecting like them to cook me like some grilled chicken nuggets, some rice. They're like hooking me up during,
If you're in a freaking war
Who's
zone,
those?
you think they're gonna cook up? They're gonna
Oh, man.
they're just gonna go in the trenches and be like, oh yeah, right, gluten free, are we?
I was gonna say, hey, where's the closest Walmart? I gotta go shopping.
Yeah, when you're in Baghdad, yeah, you'll find a Walmart there.
I gotta plug my air fryer into the ground. All right. No, so yeah, I was seriously considering the Air Force.
Sir, fire's crazy.
And I got turned away because of it too, which honestly, bro, people are blessed up because
They had different
life.
plan for you.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Life would have been completely different.
Man, imagine me in the military.
Nah, they would know where the enemy would know exactly where you were. I'm like, yeah. They'd be like, oh, I think he's over there.
I actually, so there was a time that I thought about wanting to be a fighter pilot, and you know what I found out? I'm too tall. So the average fighter pilot height is between 5'4" and 5'7", or it's either 5'7" and 5'9". It's one or the other. And
Short Kings.
dude, they are. They're yeah, it's crazy because in the fighter jets, obviously everything is built to a specific size. Like they're not able to adjust anything, and it's just a standard size for everything. Because imagine if he had custom seats in every fighter jet.
Yeah.
That would be crazy, right?
Yeah.
That'd be cool, but it'd be crazy expensive too. So, my only option would have been flying the cargo. So like the big plane with like 6 motors, 6 engines.
the big helicopter thing.
No, the big cargo planes, like uh, the
Big
C7
boy.
or whatever it's called. You've seen the Blue Angels, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, Fat Albert, the nickname of the big blue one.
Dude, just call them big boys.
Uh,
Big boys.
17. It's just a carrier. It can hold tanks and like everything. It can hold
Big boys.
So that was the only thing. Yeah, no, big freaking airplanes.
Yeah.
And those are the only things I can fly. I'm like, I'm not trying to fly something that goes, vroom, 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 and it's just cruising, like can't do flips, can't do nothing. Like heck no. So I never done.
Dude, imagine like trying to brag that you're a fighter pilot and there's like, nah, Short King. Yeah. Like just, oh yeah, I'm a fighter pilot, bro. I love my job. I'm so crazy. Like I do all this cool stuff. And it's like, but you're short. Like, that's what you just told me. You just told me you're 5'4", bro.
that's kind of crazy.
Dude, they I don't know. But I think it's a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like I got a lot out. I feel like we talked for a good minute. Like it was just nice just talking.
that was
Uh,
definitely over an hour.
It was good catching up.
Oh, it was good, yeah. Because we haven't seen you in a while, and we're making sure 10's all good.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be episode 12 of the rest of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. You guys know what to do, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Oh, peace.